Hey, what's up guys? It's Ivan, and in this video I want to show you how to create a profitable Google Ads search campaign in 2025. I have been using Google Ads for the past 8 years for my business and for affiliate campaigns, so I know the ins and outs as well as what Google recommended options you should apply and which ones you should stay away from to have profitable campaigns. So let's get straight into it. So the first thing you guys need to run Google Ads is of course a Google Ads account. So if you just head over to ads.google.com, you will land on a page that looks like this, which will differ slightly depending on your location. So just come in here and click on sign in if you already have an account, or click on start now and complete a quick form to create your account. The other thing you will need is your website. So in our case, for this example, we're going to be promoting this product called Synergy Spanish, which claims to teach you to learn Spanish in just 138 words. So that's what we're going to be using for the purpose of this course. Once you sign into your Google Ads account, you will see an interface that looks something like this. Google Ads does constantly split test and test different variations of interfaces for different users. So if yours looks a little bit different, don't freak out. It's just Google testing different versions with different people. The main button you should be looking for is this campaigns button over here on the left, and then campaigns over here. And then we're going to click on this little plus sign to create a new campaign. Don't worry about these objectives here. We're just going to click on create a campaign without a goals guidance. What's more important is this campaign type. So in our case, we want to run a search ad. I'm going to create videos later on that explain all these other different types in future videos, and I cover them in very thorough detail in my upcoming membership site at ivanmana.com/all-courses. But for this video, we're going to focus on the lowest hanging fruit and generally the highest converting ads, which are the search ads. So let's come down. If you followed along with me in my other video on how to set up conversion tracking, you should see the conversion goals over here. If you haven't, I strongly suggest that you set up conversion tracking before creating a Google Ads campaign. So we're going to click on continue over here. We're going to say that we want website visits. We're going to enter the website URL here. So let's come in here. Let's copy that. Control C. Come down here. We'll paste it and we'll click on continue. We're going to give this campaign a name. So let's name it Synergy Spanish after the name of the product. We'll click on continue. And this is the next page you will land on. So ideally, you always want to focus on conversions, especially if you followed along with me, like I said in the other video, and set up conversion tracking. You can also choose to bid for conversion value. So you can come in here and say what your target return on ad spend is. So for every dollar you spend, how much do you want to get back? You would enter that percentage here, for example, 200%. Now, as you can see here, Google Ads is saying that, hey, you need to get at least some conversions to be able to enter an amount so that Google knows what to optimize for. So until you have that data, it's recommended to stay away from this bidding type. So we'll come back here, we'll click on conversions, and we're just going to leave it at that. We don't have any audiences yet, so we're not going to say optimize campaign for acquiring new customers. This will work once you already have audience lists created and set up in your Google Ads. So we're just going to click next for now. Next, Google is asking where we want to show our ads, on the Google Search Partner or on Google Display Network. Absolutely, in every case, you don't want to select this. So this is one of those recommended options that should not be recommended. Display ads and search ads are completely different campaign types, and they should be in completely different campaigns because of different bidding strategies, different targeting strategies, and so on. So we're definitely going to deselect this. As for this option, I usually have it off as well so that our ads only run on google.com. However, if you do want to expand your reach, you can select this and Google will show your ads on Google Search Partners. They don't reveal the exact list of partners, but they are other search sites where people can also come in and search for something online. So we're going to scroll down. The next option here is locations. So you can choose your locations. Of course, we don't want to select all countries and territories. We're going to click on location options. And you want to make sure that you select presence over here, people in or regularly in your included locations. If you select this first option, then if let's suppose you select Canada and you select this option over here, then if somebody types in for your product and says in Canada, for example, learn Spanish in Canada, and they're located somewhere in China, then your ads will show to them. So that might not be what you want. So in the majority of cases, we want to select presence to only show our ads to people in specific countries. So we're going to click on enter another location, and let's say we just want to focus on United States and Canada. And that should be all for here. For languages, of course, we want to say English because our product is in English. However, whatever language you are using in your ads, in your website, on your landing page, that is the language that you would put in. Keep in mind, this does not translate your ads. So if I type in French, for example, this will not translate our ads to French. All this does is show your ads to people who speak these languages that you indicate here, all right? The next thing here is really cool, audience segments. So I don't recommend that you target by these specific segments, but I do recommend that you observe. And I'll tell you the difference here in a second, but let's first find something relevant to people interested in learning Spanish. So for example, we can type in learn language and see what comes up. So for example, here in market for foreign language study. So what this means is that we're going to be targeting people actively interested in learning or studying a new language. So in market means that people are in the market for. Google has deemed these people as being interested and actively searching for being interested in learning another language. So we're going to select this option here. We can come down here, maybe select this option, maybe this option, and just find something that is relevant to whatever it is you are doing. And we're just going to keep it at that for now. You could, however, also go into browse and you can go by the specific categories. In market, affinity is a lower version of in market. So people who are simply interested in something, not necessarily actively looking to buy it. Detailed demographics. So if you want to go by age, marital status, parental status, and so on. So you can come in here and choose any of these options. These three are good enough for now. And what is important is for us to select observation, not targeting. If you select targeting, then you will only be targeting people that meet these criteria. We don't want that. We want to be targeting people who are typing specific keywords in, which we'll get into shortly, and we just want to observe. So we want to see for our future, for our knowledge, how many people click and buy from these categories so that later on we could use these categories for different Google Ads campaign types, such as Google Display Ads. Make sense? So we're going to keep it at observation, and then you will be able to monitor how many people you get from these categories. So let's scroll down. We want to select off here because we do want to adjust our keyword match types. Do not only go with broad match types. I will briefly explain what that is later on. If we click on more settings over here, we can just leave everything as is. Although, of course, if you do want to adjust your ad schedule, for example, you can do so here. If you want to adjust your start and end dates, you can do so here. We're going to click on next over here. Here, Google is going to use AI to help you generate your headlines and descriptions and help speed up the process. As you can see, it does sometimes glitch out. That does not look good at all. You can certainly experiment with this and click on generate. We're just going to click on skip and we're going to create everything ourselves. Now, the next part here is keywords. This is the heart and soul of your Google search ads. This is where the targeting comes in. So what keywords are, they are the words that will trigger your ads to show up when somebody types in words that are relevant to your keywords. So for example, here we have one keyword that says Mexican to English. So if somebody types in, for example, learn Mexican to English or translate Mexican to English, then that will trigger this keyword, which will trigger your ad to show to that person. So that's what keywords are. There are three different keyword match types. You have the broad match type, you have the phrase, and the exact. Broad match type is, as the name suggests, very broad. So if somebody types in anything loosely related to this, such as Mexican to English translation, Mexican food to English, buy Mexican books in England, for example, this might cause this keyword to trigger and therefore show your ad. So you have to be very careful with broad match keywords. I don't recommend any more than 1 or 2 broad match keywords in each ad group because of how broad they are. The next keyword match type is phrase. To do a phrase keyword match type, you have to put quotation marks. So it's going to look something like this, start Spanish. Now, a phrase keyword match type is much narrower in reach compared to the broad match type. So if you have a phrase keyword match type, start Spanish, when somebody types in something similar in meaning to start Spanish, then that will cause your ads to show up. However, it is much narrower in scope compared to broad. Lately, over the past few years, the Google Ads phrase match type has become much more similar to broad. So it actually encompasses a much broader reach than it used to. For this reason, if you do plan to go with phrase match type, I recommend that you simply go with broad, because it will cover the same scope of keywords in general, but be cheaper, because broad keyword match types are generally cheaper than phrase. Last but not least, you have the exact match type. So for example, if we put these square brackets before and after the whole phrase, Espanol to English, for example, that will make this keyword an exact match keyword. What this means is that somebody has to type in something very similar in meaning to this keyword in order for your ads to show up. But again, don't be misled, because this doesn't mean that this has to be typed in exactly for your ads to show up. Over the past few years, Google has drastically expanded the reach for all the keyword match types, including exact. So as long as the meaning matches this specific phrase that you have here, Espanol to English, your ads will show up. It doesn't have to be spelled in this exact way. It doesn't have to be spelled in this order. As long as the same general meaning is there, your ads will show up. So what I recommend you do in your ad sets is to have 1 or maximum 2 broad match keywords and the rest exact. And I'm going to briefly cover keyword research here shortly. So that's how this works. Now, these suggestions here aren't very good. This particular course here, An Easy Way to Get By in Spanish, teaches you how to learn Spanish quickly, easily, without the hassle. So what we need to do is find keywords relevant to this. So what I recommend you do is you use the Google Ads Keyword Planner. So let me show you how to do that. We're going to duplicate this tab and open in a new window here. This won't be a detailed lesson on keyword research because I do cover this in very thorough detail in my membership site, but I do want to show you roughly how to use this because it is very important for creating your campaigns. So let's close out of this and let's hop on over into Tools, Planning, Keyword Planner, and let me show you how to use this keyword planner to find relevant keywords. So once you're inside the keyword planner, click on Discover New Keywords. Set your location. So in our case, if we're targeting Canada and the United States, we want to target United States here as well. We're going to click on Save. And now we're going to type in some keywords that you can imagine off the top of your head that have to do with this product. So again, this product is about learning Spanish quickly. So that's something we want to put in. So learn Spanish quickly. And we'll type enter. Then we can say learn Spanish fast. Fast Spanish lessons. Something like that. And then we're going to come down and click on Get Results. You can refine your keywords here as well if you want. We're just going to close out of that for now. And then let's come down and get some ideas. So take a look at the keywords and see which ones make the most sense. So fastest way to learn Spanish, that is definitely very relevant to what it is we're promoting. So we're going to select that. We're going to select all of these. And you just want to go down the list and select all the keywords that are relevant, all the terms that you want people to actually type in order for your ads to show up. So do you want people to type in easiest way to learn Spanish fast before they see your ad? Yes, absolutely. Do you want them to type in learn Spanish fast free to see your ad? No, we don't want the word free. In fact, free is a negative keyword that we want to add, which is something I will show you by the end of this video. So make sure you don't leave too early so that you can see all of these additional little tips that I want to share with you to maximize your campaign performance. Here's another good one. Fastest way to learn Spanish. Best way to learn Spanish quickly. Fastest way. Learn Spanish fast. Learn Spanish quickly. Okay, not free. Okay. Be very careful when you read these. Fast and easy. Fastest way to learn conversational Spanish. Don't worry too much about the average monthly searches or the top of page bid or the competition. You are just adding the keywords. Look, if people don't type these in, if people don't click on your ad, you don't pay. So it doesn't hurt for you to have these keywords there. Ways to learn Spanish fast. Fastest and easiest way. Okay, so you can spend hours going down the list here and going through all the keywords. And I do cover this, like I said, in very, very thorough detail in my upcoming membership site. However, let's just stop here and use the keywords that we have. So what we want to do now is click on Plan. We're going to select Plan over here. We can say New Ad Group. So let's give this a name. Let's say Learn Spanish Fast. That's our ad group. We'll say Create. We're going to leave it at broad match. It doesn't matter. We will be able to change all the keyword match types later on anyway. And then we're going to say add keywords. And now these keywords will be added to our specific plan. So if we come in here to saved keywords, you will see all the keywords down here. So we can come in here and we could give this plan a name. So we could say learn Spanish quickly. and then this is going to be our plan name. So now if we come down here and we download the CSV file for the historical metrics, it has to be historical metrics, we will be able to copy and paste these keywords into our account, all right? Then if you go back to your keyword planner right over here, you will see your plan over here. So you will always be able to come back to this specific plan and add new keywords for this specific group, okay? And then if you want to add new ad groups, such as Learn Spanish App or Take Spanish Lessons, notice they are different ideas than Learn Spanish Quickly, you will be able to go back into Discover New Keywords and do so that way. But for the time being, what we want to do is come back into our account here. We want to open up this Excel sheet. And we just want to copy our keywords right over here. So we're going to select them. We're going to copy. We're going to go back into our Google Ads account, and we're just going to paste them right over here. There you go. Don't worry about making them exact or broad or phrase over here. I will show you how to change them after we publish the campaign. So the rule of thumb with Google Ads is you want to have one campaign for each individual product, and then you want to have many different ad groups for each different category or idea. So in this case, the idea for this ad group is Learn Spanish Fast. For a different ad group, our idea could be Learn Spanish App, application to learn Spanish, iPhone app to learn Spanish, something like that. That would be a different ad group. There is no set number for how many keywords you want in an ad group. The more, the better, as long as they are relevant. And there's no right number as to how many ad groups you need to have in a campaign. Again, as long as you have enough categories and different ideas and concepts, you can have as many ad groups as you want. So hopefully all of that makes sense. So let's keep going. Now it's time for the ad. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have the URL here correct, that the URL works, things like that. Very important because Google can disapprove your ads if your website isn't working. Over here, you can enter a display path. So you can say something like, for example, Learn Spanish. And what that's going to do is just show those words at the end there. So if we close out of that, you will see it say that right there. The next thing you want to do is add some headlines and descriptions. So there is a 90 character limit for descriptions and a 30 character limit for the headlines. There is no set number as to how many descriptions and headlines you need, but you should have at least 2 descriptions and 10 headlines. So what we want to do with the headlines is have 3 to 5 headlines that have our keyword inside the headline. So if our ad group has to do with learning Spanish fast, then we want a headline that says, Learn Spanish fast, learn Spanish quickly, fastest way to learn Spanish. We also want 3 to 5 headlines with call to actions, such as start now, get started now, get instant access now, download now. These are call to actions that will prompt your audience to click and make them more likely to engage with your content. Last but not least, we want 3 to 5 headlines that describe your product. In this case, we're targeting more so middle to bottom of the funnel keywords. So these are people that are specifically looking for the fastest ways to learn Spanish. So what we want to do in these other 3 to 5 headlines is add some features, specific features of how our product, Synergy Spanish, is different than our competitors. What do we offer? Maybe a money back guarantee, or maybe a certain number of hours of material, of content. How are we different than others? You don't want to come in here and start providing benefits because people are past that. They're no longer at the top of the funnel. They're now interested in the specifics. How is your product specifically different and better than the rest when it comes to learning Spanish quickly? Does that make sense? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come in here and quickly fill in these headlines, and then we're going to go over them and go on to the next step. All right, and so I've added 15 headlines and 2 descriptions. So let's take a quick look at what I have done. So as you can see here in these first 5 headlines, I have added the keyword as the primary focus of the headline. So easy Spanish in only this many words, real life Spanish, learn all you need Spanish, learn Spanish quickly, Synergy Spanish online lessons. This is a brand headline. So here the emphasis is on how fast and or how easy it is. Only 138 words. Easy Spanish. All you need Spanish. Learn Spanish quickly, okay? Next here, I have call to actions. Choose your package now. Get instant access. Get lifetime access. Get started now. Start learning right away. This will prompt people to click. It will make it easier for them to not have to think about what to click next. You are guiding them. You are telling them, here's what I want you to do. Psychologically, it will make it much easier for them to take action. Next, I have the features. There are 68 online audio lessons. This is one of the ways in which we're different from competitors. We have a 90-day email coaching program. This is how we are different from competitors. We have a money-back guarantee for 60 days. This is how we're different. We are available and accessible on all devices. You could say compatible, you could say accessible on all devices. Both of them are good. So this is how we are different from competitors. Maybe competitors aren't compatible on all devices, but we are. We have fully downloadable lessons. Maybe competitors don't have lessons that are fully downloadable. Ours are. So the idea is to find the biggest trigger point, to find exactly what people are struggling with when it comes to learning languages and Spanish in this case, and focus on that and say, hey, here's how we can address your concern. In this specific case, we're going blindly and we're just laying out all of our features. But in an ideal world, you already know a little bit about your competitors and you know some of the challenges that your ideal customer faces, and that is what you would write here. Make sense? What you could also do with these headlines is pin them if you like. So you could say, hey, for Learn Spanish Quickly, I only want this to be in position 1 in that first headline, because Google Ads has 3 headlines, or up to 3. They have the first one here, Learn Spanish Quickly, then 60-day money-back guarantee, that's the second one. And then potentially they have a third headline if space allows for it. So I don't like to set pins. I like Google to optimize it by themselves and figure out what the best option is, especially if you set up conversion tracking, like I said, which I strongly recommend to give Google some direction and guidance as to what it is we're looking for and what they should be optimizing for. However, in some cases, you could come in and test and add a pin and say, hey, here is a new change that I've added. Let's suppose you create a split test and you add something different and you say, I want this to show up only in position 1 to see how well that does. You can certainly do that. But that is what these pins are, so we will leave them at unpinned. Next, we're going to scroll down for the descriptions. I just wrote a little bit more information about the product. So easy step-by-step system that gets you speaking Spanish like a pro. Personalized coaching to help you learn Spanish without the boring teachers or textbooks. You could add 2 additional descriptions if you want to, but 2 is good enough for here. You will see your ad strength over here as well. Don't worry about that. This is just a vanity metric. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't affect anything inside of your actual campaigns. So as long as you wrote all these different headlines and descriptions as per my suggestions, that will show your real ad strength. Now we can come up here and we could see what the ad will look like as well. If I scroll in here a little bit. So here's what it will look like on mobile. As you can see, I like the numbers here. I like that it catches attention with the dashes. And we can go on and preview. Let me zoom out a little bit. And you could also see what it will look like on desktop. All the different versions. So you might say, hey, get started now. That's not really good. That's not a good headline. Yes, it's not. So Google won't show this headline anymore. If it sees that people aren't really engaging very well with this headline, it will not show it. So we're giving Google all the options. We're letting them decide. Some of these variations will not make sense, and that's fine. Google will no longer show them. Okay, so that's what they look like. Let's zoom back out. Let's keep going. Now you will see over here, this location, that is an extension, which are additions that you can add to Google Ads to make your ads be more prominent, to make them more obvious. As you can see here with this extension, your ad stands out a little bit more. This is a topic for another day. Let me know in the comments if you want me to create videos on that. I do cover all of the different extensions with Google Ads in my upcoming membership site. Again, at ivanmena.com/all-courses, you can take a look. But this is a topic for another day because we will be going down another rabbit hole with this topic. So for the time being, we are all good here. So we're going to click on done. And let's scroll back up now. And we can see our ad here with all the related keywords pertaining to this specific ad group. So we can also give this ad group a name. And we can say, Learn Spanish Fast, because that is the main theme for this specific ad group. So we can scroll down, we can click on next. Don't go yet. We still have to do something with the keywords and negative keywords as well. So you can choose to set the recommended budgets or your custom budget. There is no right or wrong answer for this. It does depend on you. One thing to note is that Google will not respect your daily budget per day. They respect it on a monthly level. So if your daily budget is $100, they might spend up to $200 per day, but they will not spend more than $3,000 per month. Okay, so they take your daily budget and they average it out for the month. So 100 times 30 is 3,000. So they will not go over $3,000 a month, but they could go up to double your daily budget. So just keep that in mind. We will go with this $450 a day. That's fine. Let's click on next. And here you just want to confirm that everything here makes sense. So here, contacts, call from ads, websites, that is based on our conversions, which we have set up. Don't worry about that. Depending on your specific conversion goals, you will have relevant conversion goals over here. So you want to go through everything, make sure the locations make sense, the language makes sense. You have the 15 keywords, one ad, the budget. If everything looks good, you can come in here and click on Publish Campaign. And now the campaign should go under review. So let's come in here, let's click on next. And it's suggesting to set up the Google tag on the website. We do have it set up on the correct site. This was just an example website. So don't worry about that. We'll just click on test connection and skip this whole part. And if there's no skip option, then just click on close. And we should see our campaign right here, Synergy Spanish. So before you go, a few more important things we have to take care of. So first of all, let's click on this ad here. And I'm not sure why we have this ad group here. So let's come in here and just delete it. Anything you want to do pertaining to any of these options here, you have at the top. So let's delete that. So if you want to only show the ad groups that are active, you can just come in here, select ad group enabled, and it will only show the enabled ad groups. So let's come in here, let's click on Learn Spanish Fast. And here you will see all the keywords. You will notice they are all broad. We don't want that. We want all our keywords to be exact with the exception of a few long tail broad keywords, which I will cover in a second. So the first thing we want to do is let's select everything. We want to select all 15 or all however many keywords you have. Let's click on edit and we're going to change match types, change all match types to exact. And we're going to click on apply over here. And we're just going to give it a second to load. And now they should be exact. Now, in terms of broad, how do you determine which keywords you want to be broad? And by the way, let's come in here and set 200 so that we see all the keywords in one view. So the only broad keywords I have are long tail keywords. Long tail keywords means keywords that are 3 words or more. So Learn Spanish Fast is 3 words. However, we have some keywords that are 4 or 5 or 6 words. Those are the ideal candidate to broad. Why? Because like I mentioned, broad covers a very wide spectrum of keywords. So you want to give Google as many signals as possible as to what it is you're looking for, what sorts of search terms you want people to be typing in before they see your ad. And so the more words you can put into a broad keyword, the more signals you will be giving Google to say what type of audience you want to see your ad, all right? So in our case, let's see, fastest and easiest way to learn Spanish. That is pretty detailed. That is 7 words. So we can come in here and we can make it broad. So let's see if there's anything else. Fastest way to learn Spanish fluently. That is 6 words. That is pretty good too. Fastest way to learn conversational Spanish, also 6. So I like conversational Spanish. Let's do this. And then we can just test this out and see how these things go. Now, one other thing I strongly suggest you do is you add negative keywords. That is very important as well. As you recall, when we went into the keyword planner, we stumbled upon the word free, which we don't want people to type in to see our content because we don't want to pay for those clicks. Our products are not free unless yours is. So we're going to click on negative search keywords over here. We're going to click on plus or the little plus sign there. And we're going to just add negative keywords here. We're going to select campaign. We want these negative keywords to be applied to the entire campaign. And we can start typing. We can say free. We can say cheap. We could say, for example, not expensive, anything like that. Whatever words you don't want people typing in to see your ad, that's what you would do. On the contrary, if you are selling something cheap, then maybe you want to exclude words such as expensive, luxurious, prestigious, something like that, right? So we'll click save. And now here are the negative keywords that are added to our campaign. So anybody typing in any of these keywords will not cause our keywords to trigger and therefore will not show our ads to them. The next thing here I wanted to show you is audiences. So like I said, we are observing. So we're going to have our audiences here that we've set up. We don't see anything yet because there's no data, but you can come in here, the campaign level, and here are the audiences that we set. So once you start seeing the traffic come in, you will see the data for those audiences. How many clicks, how many impressions, how many sales, so on and so forth. Now we just started this campaign and you might be wondering, what do I do after I spend a few $100s? How do I optimize this campaign? So I actually did upload a video on my channel. You guys can take a look. I will link it in the description on how to optimize your Google Ads campaign after it's been running for a few weeks or a few months. And I show you exactly what to look for. And I actually give you a chart, a cool little optimization checklist chart that you can use to go by and make the whole optimization process much easier. So definitely check that video out. I also invite you to check out my website and my upcoming membership site. If you go to ivanmana.com/all-courses, I have this membership site coming soon. You can take a look at the video. This specific video is something I cover in very thorough detail in this Google Ads mastery module. So there are 7 modules which go over the A to Z of marketing online with my personalized feedback and support. And so I invite you to enter your name and email right over here, join my email list, and you will be the first to know when the membership site is out. So that is all for this video. I hope that was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next one.